Thank you so much, Terry. Wow. Honored to be here tonight. It's a very big thing to me, being able to just share my story, the things that I've been through, with nothing more but the intentions to try to spark some hope or maybe bring some light into other people's lives. Because for a very long time, I lived my life in a very dark place, and it was very easy for me to lose that taking ownership. A little bit about me. In February, I will hit 2 years of sobriety. I served 5 years on the Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier, so I wasn't just an alcoholic, I was a government-funded alcoholic. I stand here today just so fortunate, so blessed, and I know exactly who I am. Well, what took me to get here? When I was in high school, I was really well liked amongst my peers. So on the football team, wrestling team, captain of the football team, captain of the wrestling team my senior year. Just living in the now, living in the rush, finding the next party, the next thing to do. It was socially acceptable to just drink and have fun, because that's what it was at first. It was just the fun. The end of my senior year was a little bit more rough, as my dad was diagnosed with liver and colon cancer. My father and mother had to spend lots of time going down to Denver to go through my father's treatment. And it was harder for me. I was at this house by myself, 18 years old. Remember, my car broke down, so I thought that was a great excuse just to get high, get super drunk, then have one of my friends drive me to school. Because all I was doing is I was trying to run. I was running from my reality at that point. I didn't want to face what was really going on in my life, because whenever I was sober, all that would rush in my head is, your dad has cancer. Your dad has cancer. You're losing your dad. You're sitting here in class. I wasn't learning anything. I just victimized myself so much, and I would beat myself down so heavily. I pushed myself through, and I graduated high school. I remember my father pushed off his chemotherapy so he could watch me walk across that stage. I remember so vividly just seeing my dad and the tears in his eyes as he was so proud watching me walk that stage. And I was so happy as well. I felt I did such a great task. And I remember I wanted to check off the boxes of what was the right thing to do in life. So I decided to go to college. I enrolled in Colorado Mesa University. I was going for kinesiology, because being an athletic trainer seemed like something I might enjoy. I remember going to Colorado Mesa, down to Grand Junction, and that's when my father was going through chemo, and it got really heavy for him. I'd wake up in the morning, my mom just telling me that I had a Greyhound bus ticket sent to my phone for me to go hop on, ride a 6-hour bus ride down to Denver, because today might be the day that I lose my father. I remember riding that bus, just beating myself up, never sober. I had to make sure that I numbed myself as much as I could, because I wanted to escape the reality, because I could not handle it. Then after I lost my father, I missed so much of school to where it got to the point where I couldn't come back. But I told myself, no, my father would want me to be in school. I need to make him proud. This is what he'd want to do. Well, I don't think my father wanted me to go to school and just drink and do drugs. So I tried to go back, and then it got to the point where I was just going on a bender, numbing the pain, because I had every right to. My dad died. I had every right to feel this. I should get drunk. I should do cocaine. I should do everything and above, etc., because I was hurting, and it seemed right. And at this point, I was not just lost for myself, I was lost for my faith. My father used to tell me, Benji, anything I've ever prayed for in my life, God has always answered my prayers. So my sister went to school. She got accepted into Michigan State University. And one of the things my dad promised my sister is if she got accepted into college, he was going to pay for it. And when she got accepted to a $54,000 a year school, he needed God's help. And he prayed, and God answered his prayers. And they have got accepted for all the scholarships they applied for, all the financial aid. It all worked. So when my dad got cancer, I prayed. God, don't take my father. I need my dad. So when my dad passed away, it was so easy for me to look to the sky and say, God, it's not real. If God was here, he wouldn't take my father. He wouldn't take my dad. So I was just beating myself mentally, physically, all of the above, because I felt like it was mine. I was entitled to it. I was entitled to beat myself to this. And I finally had about 2 days of sobriety where I really just woke up a little while, and I realized the blessings that I had, because I had friends who grew up without a father. I am who I was because I had a dad. To truly feel lost, you have had something. And I realized that God did give me a father, and I should be thankful for the time that I did get to have with him. But at this point, I needed some sense of direction. I was a college dropout. I was homeless, couch surfing with some of my friends. I didn't have any type of sense of direction. I was looking into different types of options, talking to friends who had different types of jobs going for them, some working in oil rigs, some running companies. I was trying to find my next thing to do. One of my friends came home on leave, and he came back about 20 more pounds of muscle than when he left, a bunch of tattoos, telling me all about his travels that he did in the military. I'm like, wow, I want to get super muscular. I want to travel the world. Like, man, I have these back issues, I have this, and that. The list of excuses that I kept in my back pocket, I kept them near. And he told me, man, get out of your own way and just go for it. And just for me to join the Navy was such a hard task. I grew up in a small town of Winter Park, Colorado. And the nearest recruiting station was about 2.5 hours away. In order for me to get there, and at this point, I was completely out of money. I was working a little bit, just kind of getting by. I would have to download the GPS on my phone on Wi-Fi and hope that it didn't crash on the way there, because I didn't know how to get there. I worked so hard to get there, and I remember going through it. There's multiple times where I thought to myself, I should just give up. I'm not meant to go to the military. I shouldn't do this. And I remember at one point my sister posting on Facebook, says, I'm so proud, my brother's going to become a Navy man. And that just set a fire within me. I had people that I need to make proud. So I went through, I did the work, and I enlisted. When I joined the military, it was like passing the baton from the drugs to mostly just all alcohol. I served 5 years. I did 3 deployments while in my time in service. And just like in high school, it started off just as fun. Just the fun, drinking, having fun with all my peers around me. They say it in the Navy, it's part of the sailor's creed, drink to the phone. It was socially acceptable. I felt accepted with it. Well, I took this time in service. I kept losing friends. I missed out on events. I just felt like my life was just passing me by, and there was nothing I could do about it. It was so easy for me to just feel sorry for myself and just sit around just drinking myself to death because I didn't want to be here. But I thought it would be so selfish to just take my life because I still had family members and people that loved me. One thing that I keep in my mind that will never leave, I remember one night in a drunken stupor, talking to my older sister, and I told her, Sydney, I just want to let you know, because of you, you're part of the reason why I'm still here. I'm still here because of you. I won't give up because of you. My sister told me, Benji, I'm so honored and happy to know I have this type of effect on your life. But living your life for other people is not living. And then my mindset kept getting shaken because I kept going back and forth between suicide is a selfish thing. But for these people that want me to keep living this sad life, that's selfish on them. Why should I be here? Why should I be here? So I didn't take any ownership at the time. I was doing nothing but escaping and running away. I lived a life of nothing but running from my nightmares instead of chasing my dreams. I had no sense of direction. And as soon as I got done with my last deployment, I was legally married while I was in the military. And on the week I returned, my wife was killed. The week I got back from deployment, I didn't even get to make it home to see her. It was a very hard thing for me to go through. I went through therapy at the start for about a week. But I told my chain of command I was still going to therapy. They just didn't know the therapy's office was the bar down the road. I would spend my time just leaving, just escaping, just running, because I had so much pain within my heart, and I deserved this. How could I not feel this way? I deserve this. God has forgotten about me. God doesn't love me. Why does he put me in this position? Why do I keep having so many things just taken from me? And I would have so many people just come to me and tell me how sorry they were for me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I am sorry. I am sorry. It's bad. So I kept drowning myself. Then I got transferred to Fallon, Nevada, where I was supposed to spend 3 years in the military there on shore duty after I'm 85. My time in service, I was a #1 EP sailor, fully qualified flight deck supervisor. When I got to Fallon, after my wife passed, I was getting paid for having a wife, but she was no longer here. So the military deducted me $6,000, and I didn't get paid for almost 2 months. All of my debts, everything just kept piling up. So what would I do? Turn to the bottle as always. Do what I knew. Do what I was comfortable with. Curled up to the bottle and just felt sorry for myself over and over again. I used to talk to my friends, and we'd say it as a joke. Every morning I wake up and I have to decide whether if I'm going to grab my pants or the pistol. And there's always some truth to the matter. Every morning when I would wake up, I would look at my pistol, then I'd look at my pants. Am I going to give it another day, another chance, or am I done? Have I had enough? I kept pushing through, till I finally got kicked out of the military on my second contract, which when I went up to captain's mess to get separated, and they looked at my record. They're like, you have like 1 DUI on your record, but other than that, you're perfect on paper. #1 EP, all these awards, two papers full of qualifications and things that I have accomplished. What is this? And then I told them about my situation, the money, the hardships. And they said, the Navy needs people like you. We want to keep you in. If you want to stay, we will help you stay. I looked at them, I'm like, I'm done. This is it. I can't do this anymore. And that was one of the best things that could have happened to me, because I truly believe, and I know in my heart and soul, if I would have stayed there, I probably would have stayed on the bottle. I ended up having to make the decision of where I wanted to go after I got done. At first, I was thinking about going to Colorado to stay with one of my friends. And then my mother, her health wasn't doing so well, so I decided I would give Independence, Missouri a chance. So I came here, still a raging alcoholic. Now I'm out of the military. Now I'm a weed smoker regularly too. So then I had to make a decision, because I was decided I'm going to try to do everything I can in my power to get out of this. I got a job at Power and Light, and I was working in the bar industry as a bouncer for a little while. I was still drinking, just lying to myself over and over and over again, until I finally just hit my bottom. I was finally Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I was losing everything. I couldn't keep my head afloat. I couldn't keep up with my debts. I couldn't keep anything going. To where I finally had to make the decision that I need to give up the alcohol. What am I doing? Where is my life gone? Because I realized I lost my true sense of self. I used to have so many boundaries and things that I would set with myself when it came to drinking. I never got blacked out in public. I always made sure if I was going to push it to the limits, I was somewhere safe. Till it got to the point where I woke up, folded over in a parking lot in downtown. I lost my morals, I lost my values, everything that I said was gone. And I remember telling myself that that's it. I'm done. I'm giving up alcohol, and I'm not looking back. And I truly believe in my heart and soul, when you're about to make a breakthrough, that's when the devil tries you the most. The night I decided I was no longer going to drink again, I wake up the next day and my truck got repoed. I get a call that I got an opportunity to go work downtown. So I rode my motorcycle down there as fast as I could, because I need to make money. I go down there. As soon as I start working, I was working on another section that I normally don't work in. My boss found out I was working one of the front doors instead of being a security guard like I'm supposed to be. So then he threatened to fire me. I was about to lose my job. I decided I was giving up alcohol. I lose my truck. I lose my job. The manager who gave me the opportunity to go work that door, he handed me a big stack of cash. There's all the regulars around there who I always saw every weekend. Like, well, you're already here. You might as well party. They're like, yeah, you already know. We're going to give you a free tab. Your tab's open. It's on us. Here's a bunch of cash. Have fun. Go partying. And I just felt this sense and this pressure just coming down on me. I'm like, this is not who you are. Just because who I was does not mean this is who I have to be. So I'm like, I don't drink anymore. I'm like, dude, you were just here hammered last week. I'm like, that's before. So I walked out, and I just remember getting on my bike, and I was riding home. And I was thinking to myself, I'm losing my car. I lost my job. I live with my mom. I don't have anything. Oh, woe is me, woe is me. And then it just sparked. I can handle it all. Every single thing that is happening to me right now, I can handle it all, and I'm going to get through it. So I decided I was going to, and I kept doing the next right thing. And it was difficult for me. I didn't get into AA until December, and I hit a year in February. It was so difficult for me at first. At first it just started just one day. I just won't drink today. Then I won't drink tomorrow. Keep it simple. What got me into Alcoholism Anonymous is on December of this last year, I lost my older brother in a drinking and driving accident. And I just remember my stepdad calling me, letting me know that my older brother is gone and I'm never going to see him again. And I just remember the hardship and the pain that I felt. And it was just like when I lost my dad, or I lost my best friends, or I lost my first wife, I used to always think to myself, I never could imagine who I would be without them. I could never imagine who it is I would be without them. Then it hit me. I don't have to. I don't have to think about who I would be without them because I had them. I had them in my life, and I get to carry that piece of them with me everywhere I go for the rest of my life. And one of the biggest realizations with that, I don't have to do the sobriety thing alone. I had friends who kept encouraging me to find Alcoholics Anonymous to get help, but I felt like if I went to AA, it would give my alcoholic addiction power that it didn't need. I didn't need AA. I don't need it. I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to do this by myself. So after I lost my brother, I realized once again, like when I lost my father and everybody else, that life is precious and life is short. And I don't need to do this alone. So I started going to some young people's meetings. I found Blue Springs AA, and it has been the biggest blessing ever, because the biggest thing about AA and what it has done for me is being able to be around true, real, authentic people who actually care about you and what you are going through. It's so hard and sometimes to just walk around and feel normal or feel accepted because of the things that some of us have gone through or we have experienced. See someone or going through that. Is that relationship of what you had is yours and yours alone. God did not forget about me. God loves me so much, and my path has been hard because my purpose is higher, and I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that every single day when I wake up. I thank Him every morning and every night because I am blessed. And one of the biggest things, too, I am just so happy at the man that I'm getting to become, because someday I'm going to be a father. My child is never going to have to see that version of me. He is never going to have to see his father be the sad, depressing, excuse-making alcoholic. He's going to see the man who never gives up, who keeps persevering and being the best version of himself that he can possibly be. Because I took ownership. I made the decision. That doesn't mean every single day I live is sunshine and rainbows. I'd have been so ignorant to think if I gave up alcohol that all my problems would just go. When I first gave up alcohol, it was so difficult because I had to clean up the mess that I made. I was the one who did it. Nobody else forced me to drink. Nobody else forced me to do any of these things. I made those decisions on my own. One of the most powerful things that I've learned being in AA, such a simple thing, alcohol or the drugs are not the problem, because you have to be sober to take that first drink, to use that first amount of drugs. It takes a sober mind. It took me having to realize that I was worth living a life more than just suffering and being down and hard on myself. Realizing that this life that I have is really all I got. This is the only opportunity. And I will never waste this God-given life and this perspective that I get to have by just whining and complaining and feeling like I have it worse than anybody else. When I have moments when I just feel that life is just so hard or unbearable, that I am going through so much, and I started just turning into prayer. My life is easier for me because I have a strong faith. When I turn to prayer, I almost laugh a little bit, because then I realize how minuscule my problems really are, how ignorant again I am being. I wake up and I feel like I have such an inconvenience of things going on. I feel like I'm frustrated. I feel like I'm upset. I feel like I just can't get things right. And then I look to God to ask for help. And I realize how selfish I'm truly being. There's so many people in this world going through things that I would never experience, things that I would never understand. There's people sitting in this room tonight who have gone through things that I could never even comprehend. That is your life. We all have our own pains and trials and tribulations. And it all comes 360. You just have to decide what it is that you're going to do with it. Are you going to have it be your excuse and your limiting factor to why you didn't do the best that you could do? Or are you going to use it as everything that you overcame to be the best version of yourself that you could? Wow, this man is successful. He's done this, this, and that. I've made more money than I ever have in my life because I gave up alcohol, I gave up the weed, I gave up all of the bad habits and decided to focus on the life that I have and what I have control of. I am so blessed every single day because I am willing and I allow God to be in my life and I allow myself to be the best version of myself. And I am not just an alcoholic, I'm a proud alcoholic. I tell all of my friends, my family, what it is that I have, the disease that I have faced. And I have friends now from the military who reach out to me, express to me the things that they are going through. I'll be that token alcoholic for any of these people because I want everybody to realize there's so much more to this life than just feeling sorry for yourself or just running from your nightmares. We have one life, and you get to choose to chase your dreams. It's just about putting your direction where it is. And with having a strong faith and that connection, it makes it so much easier. It makes it so much easier to be able to just take those steps and do the work when things feel hard and difficult. I have lost so much, and I have so much more things that will probably come up in my life that are going to be difficult. But because I have taken the time to do the work and solve the problems that I face, I'm going to be the best version of myself to do it. I hear so often, for a lot of my friends and family, they want to be a better brother, a better father, a better spouse. All of these labels are who you are. They're just different titles that other people get to see you in. So to be the best in all of these positions, it takes us going down to the core. Being able to truly just enjoy every day in every way and accept the blessings that life has to offer, choosing to have an attitude and making it into nothing but gratitude. I would always use my energy and all my willpower to find reasons to be sad, mad, depressed, make excuses for all my bad decisions and choices. No longer do I live that way. I now utilize all of my resources, all of my energy and willpower to make sure that I am being the best version of myself and I am being happy and I am doing what I have control to do. I'm truly honored to be able to be standing here in front of all of you, sober, knowing who exactly I am and everything that I have gone through to make me this version I am today. Because the biggest thing about it, a lot of people, I believe, when it comes to forgiveness within themselves, it's not the same as forgetfulness. You don't just need to forget. You don't need to just stuff it in the closet. You don't need to put it under the bed and act like it never happened. It happened. It has made you part of who you are. If you truly believe that God makes no mistakes, it makes it so much easier to realize everything that you went through, it happened, and it's okay, and it's all just part of the process. We all have our different timelines, and we're all just working to be the best that we can be. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.